Hello everyone, my name is Lemon Abubakar Salim, and today I want to talk about the importance of building a skill for somebody that is a student or you are just about to graduate or you are a graduate. So according to World Bank, Nigeria produces an average amount of 50,000 graduates annually. And in order for Nigeria to meet the demand for jobs, they will have to produce around 1.2 million jobs annually. There are roughly about 25 million unemployed youth in Nigeria, which actually brings a lot of issues. There's aspect of insecurity, instability, yahoo, all these different jargons that currently been going on in the country. I think if you're a student, it is really great time for you to sit down with yourself and think about the major options that you have. One thing that you can do is research on different career aspects that are widely available across you. Because currently we live in the internet age. And then being the fact that the internet is widely available, so education has become cheaper. You can easily learn a certain skill without having to spend thousands of dollars or thousands of nairas from the comfort of your home or your class or your hostel. You may think as a student currently you are busy, you don't have time to study, or maybe studying has been taking a lot of your time. But what I can tell you as somebody that just graduated is once you graduated, the kind of reality you will face is a bit different than the ones you have found in school. Because what you realize is our parents send us to school usually in order for us to study, and then at the end we'll get a job that we can be able to sustain ourselves. But then due to the prevalent economic situation and the hardship in the country, Nigeria cannot be able to meet up with the demand of producing jobs that are well enough for every graduate to be employed in institution. So it is really important for you to do some critical thinking on your side and think about the different possibilities you may have available to you. Some of the things that you may consider doing is you can start looking at the aspect of tech. Although I know there has been a lot of hype around the technology industry, but just like every other industry, the tech industry is very wide. So there are thousands of jobs available across you. And then you can tally with the course that you are currently learning in a university. Just an example, if you are somebody that is studying computer science, you can start from researching different fields and different areas available within the computer science department. And some of the things that you can do is check the IT related courses, which as those courses are you mostly interested in. So that is for you to make a self-assessment on yourself and then understand the different areas that you are actually interested in. But then I understand it's understandable, probably you don't have a specific area that you are more interested in. So something you can do is you can adopt the strategy of doing a career exploration. So by career exploration, I mean you can dedicate some time to study a specific course. So you can say, for the next 3 months, I'm going to study, let's say, data structures and algorithm and see how it pans out. Then at the end of the 3 months, you can start assessing yourself. Not even at the end, while you are even undergoing that particular course, you can be assessing yourself and your understanding based on your course materials and the time you dedicated, and then your understanding and your interest. Is this something that I'm willing to proceed forward with? Do I have enough resources to actually continue taking this particular course? Or is this something that will require my attention later because I may need a certain level of understanding in order for me to enroll in this particular course? These are all important things that you can consider toward it. Although I will admit, studying any single course, whether it is data structures, whether you are learning design, or it is very hard, it is very tedious, especially in the beginning, because you may not necessarily get as much help as you can in your early years of starting. But then, with a bit of dedication and commitment from your side, I believe you can excel successfully in terms of pursuing that particular career. Although it is not really necessary for you to be successful as you get started, because I, for one, didn't actually start doing design just like that. I have done other things besides design. I've tried digital marketing, it didn't work. I've tried learning mobile application development, it didn't work. I've tried so many things. But then the best line is, as long as you are updating yourself with the current information and then you are doing constantly assessment on the areas that you are understanding and then which areas you are more interested in, I believe it will be helpful and it will go a long way in terms of accelerating your learning career. Although it is very common for students or for people that are just learning a new skill to make the mistake of not dedicating their time fully in terms of learning that particular skill. But then the thing with the time is whether you have dedicated your time in terms of learning those particular skill or you did not, you decided to just drop it up and do other things, time still goes. So you realize you start learning something in January and then before you know it, it's already December. And when you look back, you start realizing you have wasted so much time without actually learning that particular skill, and then you have lost the time and the time is not coming back. So consistency, and then one other thing you can do is try to find a support group, which I think is a bit easier right now because there is an internet and it is very hard for you to enroll in a certain course without that particular academy having to put you in a community whereby you can get access and then connected to different learners that are going the same journey as you. So it's easier because of the internet. And you can find an accountability partner. What I mean by accountability partner is somebody that can sit down with you, or you can sit down with each other and then you can be holding yourself accountable in terms of the different goals that you set to achieve for that particular learning course. I will advise getting somebody that you are not well familiar with, maybe probably on personal basis, maybe on professional level, might be a good strategy for you to do that. If you're having difficulty balancing between time and school, here are some helpful tips that I think will be useful for you. So one thing you can do is come up with a timetable for yourselves. That's from what time to what time are you taking college classes or university classes, and then what time do you think are you going to be really available? You have, let's say, 20 minutes a day or 5 minutes a day, because learning isn't just about the number, spending so many hours learning a skill or so many minutes doing that. Sometimes all it requires is consistency. So you may dedicate as tiny as 10 minutes per day, and then when you may do it, if you are spending 10 minutes per day, at the end of the week, you will have around 70 minutes of practice, which is 1 hour 10 minutes. So you may do that, or you can decide to just do your study, that's your skill study, during weekends, just weekends. I think these are all enough, although sometimes you realize if there is no school, if session is not currently going on, you can have more time to practice all those areas. I'm not saying it's easy, it is very hard to be honest, but then it is achievable. Because a lot of people have done that. I've seen a lot of people excel in that. And then instead of you to just be focusing on just studying, I'm not saying you should abandon your studies, it is important. You can be dedicating time to learn that particular skill. So you are preparing yourself at the end of graduation or even while you are in school. If you achieve some certain level of mastery in that particular area you are learning, you can probably even start monetizing that particular skill. So you'll be able to get some lot of you, because from that money you are generating, you can be able to pay for some of the fees you are currently dealing with at the school. And then at the end of your graduation, you don't have to worry about the aspect, or you can worry less about the aspect of looking for a job. Because once you graduated, it's not like while you are in school. Once you graduated, your main focus is to find a job, which seems to get a bit more tedious, especially if you don't have any skill to offer to any organization. Because right now, there has been an innovation in terms of the way companies are hiring. They are not really after your grade, although there are some companies that will require you to have some certain level of grade, but most companies now don't really consider. In fact, some of them may not even like say actually whether you attended a school or a college. All they are after is your skill. What are you bringing to the table if you are coming to this particular organization? Although I will admit there are some courses like medicine that particular specialization plays a huge role in terms of you securing a job. Even other areas like non-academic areas as well. But the skill you are bringing is a great prediction in terms of how quickly or how employable are you going to be once you graduated. Some skill that we tend to underestimate while we are in school is this aspect of participating in different school activities and outside school activities. So by school activities, I mean participating in forums like all the student association stuff, and then participating in other areas like from non-traditional student associations. So by traditional, I mean organizations like the student union government, maybe the WhatsApp or people that are living in Gombe, that's Gombe State Student Association. I know every single state has different association they run. But then if you are a student and then you are participating in those particular associations, you are not going there as an albuta person or as a comrade. You are getting there because you are building confidence to learn a certain skill in those particular organizations. I will say most of the confidence I get and most of the interpersonal skills I get are usually from participating in one of those communities or the other. So you may want to look into that because there are certain student community groups that have been founded with the goal of making students get relevant experiences in terms of their leadership style, project management, teamwork, and all those areas. So by participating in those communities, you get to have some of those skills. They are called soft skills that will come in handy when you are working in a certain organization because they are the kind of things that they will like you to possess in order for you to be employable. So there has been a study called the 10,000 hours study. So it's actually a study by some psychologists about the minimum number of time that you need in order for you to master a certain skill. And what they have realized is by sampling different individuals from different industries, from musicians to artists to creatives to those people in different areas, is they realize every single one of those people that mastered that certain skill actually practice it for at least 10,000 hours. So talking about consistency, I think this is something that's really important to look at. So your goal should be to practice as much skill, not just spending the time because it's different. You are just doing something for the time and then doing it productively. So if you are doing a deliberate practice, that means you are intentional about the kind of dedicate a particular number of hours that you can practice that particular skill. So whether it is tailoring, whether it is design, or whether it is programming. So if you have a deliberate practice, you realize maybe upon graduation, like if you started from level 1 to probably 500 level, you realize probably you have mastered that skill to a certain level in such a way that you will be probably earning 4 times than the national average salary. Because currently, what's the minimum wage in Nigeria? It's like 3,000. So as we know, with the current place rate and the different factors around those areas, that 3,000 isn't going to be much useful in terms of you just as a student, let alone you as somebody that is hoping to move to a big city and then establish a career. I'm not saying going into the civil service is bad, but it's not good either in some way. But I think that's all I have for you now. If you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, definitely give me a comment, or if you have something to add to what I have said, feel free to do that. My name is John Abdul Salu, and I will see you next time.